friends, Mickey Mankus here, and welcome to Out the Back Door. Today I'm going to start prepping up my vegetables because I'm going to be fermenting.
Okay, I've got my carrots here and my different beets, my different peppers, and I've got pickle and cukes. I'm also using garlic and onion. I'm going to be using salt in the ferment. I'm using sea salt. You can use any kind of salt you want, just don't use iodized salt. Right here I'm using a quart jar to do my pickles in. I've got different sizes of my cucumbers. These are pickle and cukes, and please make sure that you wash your vegetables before you start doing this. I'm going to slice these into spears before I put them into my jar. And right now I'm just going to cut them up and fit them in there. I'm also going to be adding jalapeno pepper to it, so I'm slicing that up. However hot you want it, you can add it that way. I'm also doing a pickling spice this time instead of dill. I'm going to be adding about a tablespoon of pickling spice to my quart. Next, we're going to weigh our jar because I forgot to do that ahead of time for you. It shows 0.922 pounds. I am doing imperial weight instead of metric today. And as long as I had zeroed that out and minused it, now I have the accurate weight. I'm adding my water right now because what I'm going to do is I want the weight of my vegetables and my water. This is how I'm coming to the conclusion. It weighs 2 pounds, 0.725 ounces. Now I'm going to dump the liquid out into another container. I want to mix my salt in with it, and then I'm going to pour it back in. Please make sure that you're using non-chlorinated water when you're doing any type of fermenting. Alright, I've zeroed out the scale, and I'm going to start measuring my salt. Now, I go by the Noma Guide to Fermentation. A lot of their vegetables, they use a 2% ratio of salt for the weight of their vegetable in liquid. So I've got 0.037. Alright, I'm going to dump that into my water, and I'm going to give that a good stir. Try to dissolve it as much as possible. And now I'm going to pour it into my jar over my vegetables. You want to leave about a 1-inch head space. Alright, now I've got 2 different types of weights that I could use when I put them in there. These are fermenting weights. They're glass pucks. One is smooth and doesn't have the handle, and the other one does. Alright, the purpose of the weights is you want to make sure that your food is underneath your brine the whole time. I'm going to be using pickle pipes here. They're silicone. They look kind of like a nipple, and they've got a small hole in the top. That allows the excess gas to escape from the jar. Alright, I shook it up a little bit just to kind of get some of the spices down there. And now I realized I forgot to put the garlic in, so I took the top off again and removed the weight. And now I took the ends off of the garlic and I crushed them just with the knife, and now I'm putting them back in, get the weight back in there, and now I can put my top back on. Next, I'm going to be doing some carrots from the garden. These are called Purple Cosmos. Oh, these are so delicious. Please make sure that you wash them. I do peel mine because I want to make sure that I don't have any dirt on there by accident. I love cutting mine up into coins. All right, I've got another mason jar, quart size, and I'm going to weigh that out. And now I'm just going to start loading in all of my carrots that I'm going to put in there. I'm also going to add a little bit of garlic to it. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm cutting the ends off, and I'm just going to give them a little bit of a crush. That's to get the allicin out of there. So now I'm going to tuck those down into my carrots, and I am going to be pouring my water in. Just a reminder, non-chlorinated water. All right, now I'm going to figure out my 2%. The total weight of the carrots and the water comes to 1 pound, 0.883 ounces, and I'm going to be multiplying that by 2%. You can also multiply it by 0.02 and get the same answer. And my salt will come out to 0.03766 pound. That's in the ounces. I'm going to dump my liquid from the carrots right now into my measuring cup. And now I'm going to start measuring the weight of my salt. 0.037 ounces, and I'm going to dump all that into my little container here of the water, and I'm going to give it a good stir. And now I'm going to pour it back into the jar over the carrots. Make sure you get all that salt out. I see I didn't stir it long enough. It didn't all dissolve. All right, I'm going to use one of the flat pucks in there this time. Press down a little bit to make sure everything's submerged in the brine. I'm using Airlock caps this time, and there's little rubber silicone gaskets that fit up into the center there, and then there's one that fits inside of the cap. I bought these on Amazon. I'll leave a link for these below. And once I have this assembled, there's like a 3-piece plastic part that will go into the top here. This is going to allow the gases to escape from the jar. All right, there's another part that I'm going to slip over that little pipe, and now I'm going to pour water in it until it's about half full. And there's a little plastic top, and it's got little micro holes in it that'll allow the gas to come out. So it'll just keep seeping up through there, and it burps out. What I have here are actually temperature strips that you can put on the outsides of your jars to keep track of what your temp is running. You want to keep your ferments closer to like 68 to 74 degrees Fahrenheit, thereabout. Okay, now I'm going to start working on the peppers, but I'm going to chop up my onion first. So what I'm going to be putting into this ferment is I've got hot banana peppers, a jalapeno, garlic, and onion. I'm just going to slice these up into rings, and I'm going to be loading my jar the same as I did before. I'm going to alternate and put peppers in, and then the onions and a little bit of garlic, and continue layering it that way until it's filled. I see I've got room to put one more pepper in, so I'm going to slice that up quick. Next, I've got my water again, and I am going to be filling it up so everything is covered. All right, my weight is 1 pound, 0.89 ounces. That's with the peppers in the water, and I'm gonna dump that out. Make sure you write all this stuff down on a piece of paper so you don't forget. All right, so I'm calculating my weight here for the salt, 2%. For the majority of my vegetables, I use a 2% salt solution. All right, now I'm adding my salt back into my water again, and I'm gonna give it a good stir. And now I'm gonna pour it back into the jar over my peppers and onions. All right, I put the flat puck in there again, the glass puck. And I'm putting the airlock on just like I did in the last one, and I'm filling it half with water. Now I'm going to be doing my beets. I've got golden beets and Detroit red, and I washed them really good, and now I'm going to cut off the tops and the bottom. Now I'm taking a peeler, vegetable peeler, and I'm just going to peel the skin off of them. Now I'm going to take and slice these up into bite-sized chunks. There is a nasty spot on the red beet there, so I'm going to make sure I get that trimmed off. And now I'm just cutting those into chunks. I did the same size with the golden beets. Now I'm going to be filling my jar up with those. I'm also going to be adding garlic to it. All right, let's pour in our water. Now remember, we're weighing both the beets and the water. All right, let's pour that off. The color of the water is turning yellow already from the beets. All right, we're gonna measure up our salt. Okay, and now we'll dump that back into our water and give it a mix. Okay, I apologize. The camera was acting up again and we missed some of this. So anyway, I dumped the brine back into the beets, and now I put one of the pucks on that have a little handle on it, and I'm going to use a pickle pipe on this one. Now I'm going to be working on more of a bell pepper type ferment. I'm going to be putting a banana pepper in it and garlic also, and I did the exact same process. This time I'm going to be using something different, not a glass weight, not a glass puck to put in order to hold the vegetables down in. There are so many types of gadgets out there, you wouldn't believe it. So that's how it's holding everything down. These are called canning buddies. And I'm using a gasket inside of the lid. You know, you can use these a lot of times for other things. All right, so now in order to do this, you're gonna have to burp your jar every day. So you're gonna have to open it up a little.
It's only been 3 days, but I've noticed the golden beets and the peppers here, the hot banana peppers, actually have been, I didn't leave quite enough headspace and they've been leaking out. This is normal if you don't leave enough headspace, so it's recommended to keep kind of like one of the jars here of the sauerkraut. I made sure that I had a plate underneath it as I put all of these on a tray, because when I went over to my fermentation station, I noticed I had liquid all over my wood top. So these are the sauerkraut that I had in that big jar before. I thought it was ready, and I had jarred it up into 4 half-gallon jars. We have been eating out of this. Mr. Manka said he wanted a little bit tangier. And so that's why this one I'm putting back into the refrigerator. But these I did let ferment a little bit longer, those extra few days. And I'm going to taste these. So I'm going to kind of go through and check them out for taste to see how they're doing. Because here's some pictures of all of the bubbly, the gas, all that awesome fermentation that's been happening in all the jars. And it really excited me of how fast this was starting. Oh, I've got a little extra to the addition here is apples, crab apples, except this is a different kind of a ferment compared to what I was doing here. This isn't lacto fermentation. This is actually full of alcohol and some sugar, and it's going to make, I guess, a crab apple type vodka drink. Being I don't drink, I haven't drank in over 41 years, and it's like, so I hope this turns out. I got the recipe from my husband's cousin, and they all really enjoy it, so I figured I'll make a batch and treat everybody. So anyway, so that's what's going on in that one. So as I mentioned, I'm going to open each one of the jars. I can see my golden beets, they really want to just keep bubbling up. They're causing a lot of gas, and the liquid's building up in there, coming out of from underneath the band here. I do like these pickle pipes, and I like the water locks also, but like I said, you need to leave enough headspace, otherwise you may end up with liquid coming over, which it's okay. So I'm going to start tasting these. I'm going to open them up one at a time. I'm looking forward to trying this out. I get it undone here. There we go. All right. Oh, look at all those bubbles. Oh, this is fermenting nice. You know what? I need to get a bowl so I can set these glass pucks in them. These bubbles are just, wow. This is crazy how well it's fermenting. I always have a hard time getting these pucks out. And this is why I bought the ones with the, not use my fork. The ones with the little handles on them. Actually, I have 3 different styles. I normally don't use European jars either, and this is quite the fit. That's going to be interesting trying to get this one out. You know what? I'm going to put one of my nitrile gloves on because I usually have a little bit more gription on my hands and fingers when I wear them. Let me go grab a pair. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay. Let me just show you. See, this is the type of glass puck that I used in quite a few of them, and I do like. Some of the other glass pucks don't have any little handle grab on them. It's just a solid glass puck. But I also found these that I think are going to work much better for me in order to grab. My dexterity isn't the greatest anymore. So anyway, all right, let me taste this. Okay, the beet's still really, really crunchy. There's still a tiny bit of a salty flavor to it. It's not bad. You can start tasting the tang, but you know what? I think I'm actually going to let these go a little bit longer, a couple more days. Okay. I'm actually going to put the new glass puck in here. And then maybe I'm not. Wow. Okay, if I was putting this into a standard US type mason jar, it would fit. So I'm finding out that this is not going to fit inside of the European. These are the Lafayette jars. And I do have the liter and the half-liter jars. So I guess, well, we're not going to play with that one. We are going to fight with the other one that I just pulled out. Okay. Let me set that one aside. So I will mark this down. I actually keep like a little journal, and I mark down when I start, what the weight was and everything, the percentage of salt that I used in my different ferments and everything. All right, as long as we're working on Lafayette. Let's do the hot peppers next and see how those turned out. Okay, let's see if I can get a close-up of this. It looks like I have a little bit of cam yeast forming on top. It's a little bit cloudy. Now, cam yeast, I call it cam. It's not harmful, but it'll mess up your taste if you leave it in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a spoon and start pulling some of that out. Now, as far as a weight, I think I put a regular flat glass puck in there, so I'm really going to have a challenge getting that one out. Let me go get a spoon. Well, that might not be. Oh, I think I got myself in a pickle. Oh, here it comes, here it comes. There we go. Okay. See, this is what I was talking about. Just the flat glass disc weight. So, ooh, these smell good too. Oh, yum. I'm ready to put these on a sandwich. So I'm going to take just a piece of the hot banana pepper, the jalapeno, and a little bit of the onion and try that. We'll go for the gusto right away. If you haven't seen in any of my other videos, oh my goodness, excuse me. I tell you that, I don't know if it's our soil or what. Man, normally this is what a habanero would do to me. Okay, I'm gonna let these go longer also. What I was trying to say is, for some reason, my onions and my peppers come out extremely hot from my garden, and I don't know what it is. So let's just jump right into the onion. I'm liking the flavor that the onion has. I still need more tang in this. Ah, sorry. Okay, let's go for the mellow pepper, I hope. This is the hot banana pepper. These have definitely got to sit longer. There's not a whole lot of saltiness, but I want that fermented tangy flavor in there. I know my neighbor down the street is like laughing at me. I'm going to let these go, the ones that I say aren't ready, for another 2 days or so and check on them. We've still got gas bubbles building up in here so that they're fermenting, which is good. Okay, so anyway, I want to eat these on sandwiches. I was getting ready for that. I am going to do another video on pickling the hot banana peppers. But it's just like, you know what? I want fermented ones. Can you see that? Can you see the bubbles coming up? We got some good fermenting action in here. Some of these, they will get a little bit cloudy. They still have a lot of nice foam on the top. I shouldn't say really foam. It's foamy, but it's because of the gas and everything that's coming up. My puck is way down in there. Now remember, all of these, I did a 2% salt ratio to the weight of my vegetable and water. If I didn't mention before, when you're using water, do not use chlorinated water. Don't use your tap water. Oh, baby, look at them bubbles coming up. Oh, 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 oh. I opened this bad boy up. Look, 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 look. Oh, beautiful. Okay. I suppose my fingers were in the way. Sorry. Pull one of my carrots. And remember, I had crushed the garlic so that we would get Allison in there. All right, let me try this carrot. Oh, now that's good. They're still crunchy, but it's not overly salty. I know I've had some of you write into me and they're like, how are you fermenting your carrots? Because they're so, yours are so salty. Well, that's because I use the Noma technique and I weigh my ingredients. I don't measure. I don't do my measurements by volume. I do them by weight. One more day. I'm going to give it one more day. That's getting a nice tang to it. Ooh. Drop that back in there. Get a little piece of garlic floating on the top. I don't want any of the vegetables or anything floating above my puck or, on top of the liquid, because that is just asking for mold to grow. Let's save the pickle for last. So these are the red beets, the Detroit red. Oh my goodness. Look at all those bubbles in there. Can you see that? Let's see if I can get it turned around. There we go. Now can you see all those bubbles? Gorgeous. Okay. But I think I'm going to have kind of the same issue. I don't know if you can see, my puck is way down here. All this excess fermented liquid that I have in here, if you have the same thing, don't throw that out. You're going to save this in the refrigerator and you can use it as a kickstarter to any of your other ferments. So don't throw it away, or if you want, drink it. I'm guessing that I'm going to have to let the red beets go longer because the golden beets needed to go longer. All right, let's try that out. That's tasting good. I am going to let those go a couple more days. Now, I had used the 3% salt in this, and I like a little bit extra salt in it. It just brings that flavor out better. Next, I've got my bell peppers in here. I thought I had a little bit of jalapeno in here. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just put garlic in it. And this I just put a plastic cap on. You can use a regular 2-piece canning lid if you want, but you just have to remember, if you don't have an airlock some way or a pickle pipe for the gases to escape from the jar, you're going to have to burp your jar every day, which I've been doing. Okay. All right, let's see how this turned out. This is the green pepper. I'm still going to give this 2 more days. I can see the color is changing. Let me see if I can grab a piece out to show you. All right, so some of it almost looks like it's starting to be cooked, and that's because it's fermenting. So you've got more, it isn't as bright. I don't know if you can catch that on camera or not, but the taste is nice, but I'm going to let this go 2 more days, and then I'll check it. Make sure you always have clean hands when you're working with your ferments. Last but not least is the pickles. I don't know if you can see, we still have bubbles coming up. So they're fermenting really nice. I'm going to do another jar of the pickles, but I'm going to actually put dill seed in it instead of just the pickling spice, and I'm not going to put jalapenos in it. I will put garlic in with my cucumber spears, and I'll do that. I'm also going to do green beans, and I'll probably put a little bit of garlic in that also. You can put different herbs or whatever to your liking. Okay, this is what I've been waiting for. Ooh, that looks yummy. There we go. It's not impossible to use the flat glass pucks, but it's just, I think manufacturers have realized that it's a little bit easier if you've got a knob to hold on to. So right now, this is what our pickles are looking like inside. Oh, I'm moving it around and the bubbles are just going bonkers in there. One, I want to crunch. Oh yeah. One more day. To me, they're still a little bit too salty. That salty flavor is going to dissipate some the longer it's fermenting, because it's going to build up that tangy flavor in there. These are going to be good. This tastes almost like what do you call deli kosher type pickle. There are so many different things, vegetables. You can do a vegetable medley and mix it in and ferment it. That's delicious. My Szechuan jar, I like this because this is a water lock also. So all I would do is, I'm going to measure out the weight of my ingredients and everything to begin with, like I normally have done on these, and then do my salt, get the brine and everything made and poured in, and I'll bring it up. The kind of nice thing about this is I don't need to weight down the vegetables or anything. There's not really a way to get a weight in there. I've tried. And when I've looked at any traditional ferments done, like Korea, that type of thing, in these jars, nobody puts any weights in there. And they dig in and out of this jar constantly eating what they are fermenting. So anyway, so once you get your food and everything in there, the liquid and everything down, you're going to put the cover back on here, and then you're going to pour a little bit of water in the side here, which is causing a water lock. So when the gas is trying to escape, it burps. Bloop! It's kind of cool. I mean, I can be working in the kitchen and I hear it burping, so that I know it's fermenting. Also, because it's clear like this, I am keeping it out of direct sunlight. Just remember, any of your ferments you don't want in direct sunlight. I do have a table in the kitchen here that's away from the windows, that type of thing. So anyway, I will do a variety of vegetables in here, and I'm going to do them in bigger chunks. And being it's clear, then I will be able to keep an eye on it to make sure that, you know, nothing funky is growing in there. Like I said, if you get cam yeast in there, you can still eat your food, no problem. Just try to remove it as fast as possible. It's just going to make your food kind of taste nasty. It's not that you can't eat it, but it's going to change the flavor to a nasty funk, not a good funk. Otherwise, you start getting mold or anything like that growing on there, oh, don't even try to remove it and dig in. No, I don't do that. Sorry, I'm going to throw everything out. I'm not going to trust eating the vegetables or anything, because what happens is those mold spores, actually, you don't even see it. They have little root tentacles, and they're going to go down, infiltrate your food. You are going to ingest them even if you think you've removed it all. It's not like slicing mold off of cheese. That I do, and then eat it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about the fermenting and everything, just let me know. Leave it in the comments. Geez, I'm going over all of these different vegetables, and then I forgot to, I wanted to check the sauerkraut really quick to see if it was ready to put in the refrigerator. If this is ready to go in the refrigerator, it will last months. I'm not just saying 3 months or whatever. It will last months. But we eat it so fast that doesn't happen. Another thing with the sauerkraut, if you do want to, if you've made that huge of a batch and you don't have the room in your refrigerator, you may can it. Anyway, let me check the flavor here. So this is how I ferment my vegetables. I do realize there's a lot of channels out there that will teach you to just put like 4 teaspoons or 2 tablespoons of salt into a quart. I don't do that. This is the way that I do my fermenting of vegetables. And lacto fermenting is so wonderful. It's so easy. Actually, I enjoy watching the fermentation process, the bubbles and everything, and I get excited to be able to taste it because of that beautiful tangy flavor that it has done. And again, this is so healthy for you. So I want to thank you for joining me today. And if you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Share. If you know somebody that may benefit of this, I really would appreciate if you share the video with them. And if you do have comments or questions, please leave them below. Any of the products that I have used here, I will leave links to them below in the description box. And you can go from there if you'd like. So until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless. All right. Oh, do you see flames coming out? That cleaned out my sinuses. We've got pollen alert for our area the last couple of weeks. And that'll clean out my sinuses. Okay. I am going to get the puck back in here. All right. Splash. There we go. Oh, good thing I have a tray. Come on. I know you were you. Come on up. Do you ever talk to inanimate objects? You know, like it's gonna help any? But it does! Okay. Hello! I think I need to remove some of the liquid off of the top here so I can find the puck better.